And now your TV5 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
And taking a look at Mount Pleasant tonight around 6:30, visibility definitely lower here. Parking lot becoming increasingly more snow covered. As of around 6:30, our totals out of the Mount Pleasant area were around 4 inches, maybe even a little bit more. And still several hours to go. It appears that we're seeing mostly snow around the Mount Pleasant area into the Tri-Cities. Sleet has not been as much of a factor as you've gone to the north today. So our snowfall totals, guessing a lot of those are going to be close to the higher end of our range, if not exceeding that by a little bit because of snow being the dominant type of precipitation. Your visibility around the area also hovering around 1 mile or less in many parts of the area, especially now as snow has become a little bit heavier as we've gone through the evening hours. Looks like we're approaching some rates of around 1 inch per hour in spots, and a lot of that with this dark blue shading. You can see our key at the top here, light snow indicated in white colors, and this blue shaded area starting to go to the top of the scale. So that gives you an idea of just how fast we're starting to accumulate this snow tonight. Either way, whether it's snow, whether it's sleet, whether it's a little bit of freezing rain, our traffic map is becoming increasingly more messy as the night has gone along. In Saginaw, a lot of slowdowns around that area. More slowdowns now starting to show up around the Flint area, and that goes for our counties to the north also. Your First Alert Sky Tracker shows you heavy ice off to our south as you get closer to I-96 and I-94. We're dealing with primarily snow, so our power outage threat around our area a little bit less than those areas. Starting to see some pictures now of trees coming down, branches coming down, and ice accumulating on a lot of areas there. We've even seen some thunder the farther you go towards the state line, so that is not a good situation for those counties south of us. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows snow is consistent right through this evening. More mixed precipitation possible the farther south you go. Snow does start to lighten up a little bit overnight, along with any wintry mix that remains. We'll likely see at least a little bit of wet weather as we go through Thursday, but a lot of it is going to shift to the north. I will tell you that you may not be seeing much as you go off to the south, but there will be the possibility of a little drizzle as we go through the day tomorrow. So even though it's not showing much here, know that your wet weather chance is not exactly zero for tomorrow. Most of the snow, though, will be north of the Tri-Cities before it eventually ends going into Thursday night. So our snowfall map that we issued this morning, as I mentioned before, I think there's a very good possibility that we get closer to the higher end of these ranges and possibly even exceed it, just based on how heavy some of this snow has come along tonight, and also just the fact that sleet has not been as much of a factor. A lot of these numbers, like 3 or 4 inches, factored in the possibility of sleet, at least for a period of time. That doesn't appear to be the case, at least not as much as we expected. So I would expect more snow rather than sleet, and I think those totals again are going to be a little bit higher. Your 7-day forecast shows temperatures as we go into the weekend back to the 30s. Unfortunately, as we melt snow on Monday, we will be adding a little bit of rain on top of that. So another soggy start to the week next week, and temperatures will stay mild on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Stay with WNEM TV5 on air, on the go, and online for more news and weather updates.